Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the English news of Binh Phuoc television station and newspaper. Otherwise, and now are the headlines as usual. Binh Phuoc draws investment of over 1.7 trillion Vietnam dong in January and February. Binh Phuoc and Bình Dương jointly host youth camp. Prime Minister chairs conference on economic diplomacy. Vietnam among best locations for family holidays. The Binh Phuoc Provincial Department of Information and Education held a brief meeting recently to provide information on the local socio-economic situation in the January and March period.
The southeastern province attracted over 1.7 trillion Vietnam dong in investments in the opening 2 months of the year. It reported stable socio-economic developments in almost all fields, with increases seen in business activities, purchasing power and consumption, export activities, and industrial production. The CPI rose 1.03% in February against January and 5.38% year-on-year. Total state budget collections stood at 700 billion Vietnam dong in the month, 12% of the estimate assigned by the Ministry of Finance, 11% of the estimate approved by the Provincial People's Council, and equal to 82% of the figure in the same period last year. The socio-cultural field also recorded positive results, while social welfare received due attention and people's lives were improved. Binh Phuoc has set out 10 key tasks for March, including completing the Provincial Master Plan for 2021-2030 with a vision to 2050, speeding up the disbursement of public investment and the progress of major works, implementing regulations on auctions of land use rights, and ensuring state budget collections and expenditure.
The Vietnam Youth Union chapter in the southeastern province of Binh Phuoc has coordinated with its counterpart in neighboring Bình Dương province to hold the 6th Youth Camp Festival.
The camp attracted 200 youngsters and involved a number of activities, such as a contest on resolutions adopted at the 13th Party Central Committee, the 8th Congress of the Vietnam Youth Union for 2019-2024, and the 12th National Congress of the Ho Chi Minh Communist Youth Union for 2022-2027. The young participants also had a chance to study the history of the Communist Party of Vietnam and the history of Sông Bé Province, which was the result of a merger between Bình Dương and Binh Phuoc provinces before the two separate provinces were restored. This year's camp featured many new activities, including a response to Youth Month in March that encourages young people to be pioneers in digital transformation. The annual camp has been held jointly by the Vietnam Youth Union chapters in Binh Phuoc and Bình Dương since 2013 as part of the Twin Cooperation Program. It will be carried out annually in the 2019-2024 period.
The Binh Phuoc Department of Information and Communications had coordinated with Bù Gia Mập District and Telecommunications Unit to introduce non-cash payment and medical and educational establishment in the district.
Under its plan for promoting digital transformation and non-cash payments, Binh Phuoc strives to have at least 40% of school and 50% of hospitals using digital platforms and accepting non-cash payments for tuition, hospital fees, and other costs. In response to the plan, Bù Gia Mập District is exerting every effort to ensure infrastructure and stable internet connections at educational and medical institutions. Local authorities will work with the health and education sectors to conduct communications campaigns to raise public awareness about digital transformation and non-cash payments.
Now let's take a look at the top stories around the country. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính chaired a video conference on the 9th of March to launch the government action plan on economic diplomacy in 2023.
The online conference saw the participation of provinces and cities across the country and Vietnamese representative agencies abroad. Addressing the conference, Prime Minister Chính highlighted the contributions the economic diplomacy has made to the country. In the new period, with both new opportunities and challenges, economic diplomacy should take an appropriate, practical, and effective way, the Prime Minister emphasized. According to the reports delivered at the conference, the country's economic diplomacy in 2022 promptly shifted its focus from epidemic prevention and control to socio-economic recovery and development. In 2023, it will focus on 6 contents, including further concretizing the government's action plan and identifying economic cooperation as the focus of leaders' external activities.
The Government Committee for Religious Affairs released the White Book on Religions and Religious Policy in Vietnam at a conference held by the Ministry of Information and Telecommunications in Hanoi on the 9th of March.
A 132-page book consists of 3 chapters, providing introduction to basic information about religions in Vietnam, its religious policies, as well as achievements, challenges, and advantages in ensuring the right of freedom of belief and religion. The book introduces 16 popular religions in Vietnam, including Buddhism, Catholicism, Protestantism, Taoism, and Hòa Hợp Buddhism, among others. It also presents the Communist Party of Vietnam's view on beliefs and religions during the renewal period, the right to freedom of belief and religion stipulated in the country's constitution, regulation on religious activities in current legal documents. The first constitution in 1946 and its revised editions always affirmed that the right to freedom of belief and religion is one of the fundamental rights of human beings. The 2013 Constitution specifies that the right to freedom of belief and religion is a right of all people.
China's custom authorities have approved Vietnam's 246 Farming Area Code and 97 Packaging Facility Code that fully meet the requirements for export to the Chinese market.
The Vietnam Sanitary and Phytosanitary Notification Authority and Inquiry Point said China is considering another 36 growing area codes and 18 packing facility codes for approval in the next time. Farming area codes are meant for traceability to facilitate agricultural exports. Qualified durians need to weigh 3 kilos each and meet stringent safety standards. They are required to have traceability stamps as well, which will be presented in English or Chinese and show the name of the packaging facility. China, the world's largest durian market, began importing the fruit from Vietnam in 2022. After approving 51 farming area codes. In 2022, Vietnam's durian export turnover was nearly $400 million, and of that, $300 million to China.
Vietnam's agricultural output were estimated at 1.18 million tons in the first 2 months of 2023, rising 1.3% year-on-year, according to the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development.
In February alone, the output stood at an estimated 593,000 tons, up 2.5% compared to the same period last year. The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development suggested localities nationwide link the restructuring of the fisheries sector with the reorganization of production, in accordance with the value chain. The move is expected to reduce production costs and improve productivity, quality, efficiency and competitiveness of Vietnamese aquatic products. It is also necessary to modernize management, step up the application of science and technology in aquaculture, and restructure the fishery industry in association with protecting aquatic resources and the environment, the ministry said.
Now Vietnam is among the top 6 best Asian destinations for family holiday in a list made by the New Zealand Herald. According to the New Zealand Herald, Vietnam is better suited to families with teens who are still willing to go on holiday with their parents. It noted that the country represents an excellent budget destination. Hanoi is a lot of fun to explore, even for younger kids, with attractions like the Temple of Literature, water puppet dance, or just wandering and nibbling on the street food, the paper said. Furthermore, it noted that Ho Chi Minh City offers another level of culture and history, which the Malcolm Doctor is a readout of color and sound with a fascinating series of floating markets to explore. Elsewhere, Nha Trang is blessed with sandy beaches and calm waves that are perfect for island hopping. scuba diving, boating, and water skiing. Rounding off the list of the best Asian destinations for family holidays were Singapore, Hong Kong, Bali, Japan, and Thailand. That's all for today on BPTV News. Thanks for your watching and see you next time.